all. A gap of 4. Free nomination has lost some ground, with a quarter of a mile to go. It's Lady of Sky in front. Tapatia Leah moves to engage in second. Brandon's Girl at the rail third. Then Tropical Rain Day there in the final furlong. Lady of Sky is digging in, trying to fight off Tapatia Leah. These two are well clear of Tropical Rain Day and Brandon's Girl. A 16th to go, and it's Lady of Sky by 2. Lady of Sky all the way under Sophia Barandella. Tapatia Leah's second best. Tropical Rain Day photos out Brandon's Girl for the show dough. Last one will be Miss Roberts. We're in the gate. And they're off in the wishing well. Ma Ray's Girl and Stay and Scam speed clear in the opening stages. Lone came away in good order third. And here's the heavy favorite, Queen Maxima, just inside of her, taking that third spot willingly. Then it's Miss Roberts, and the distant trailer is Arctic Breeze. Ma Ray's Girl heads to the half-mile pole, leading over Stay and Scam. 2 more lengths to Queen Maxima down at the rail. Then it's Lone in fourth, 3 lengths off the lead. Outside of them comes Miss Roberts, 5 off the pace and 4 clear of Arctic Breeze. Round the far turn, Ma Ray's Girl has been the speed throughout. Stay and Scam, her stablemate, tracking second. Then Queen Maxima, who's in the clear now, while third, angling off the rail now, and she's joined by Miss Roberts, widest of all. Lone is next there at the top of the stretch. Ma Ray's Girl, 2-length lead. Queen Maxima starts to extend that beautiful stride of hers, though, and it's lights out. Ma Ray's Girl and none of the others will come close to Queen Maxima, just stamping them out and winning by almost 4 lengths. Second goes to Ma Ray's Girl, photo third, Lone, and Stay and Scam. And they're off. Atomic Drop is sent hard for the early lead. Let's Have One More is up close in the early going, and Druidic in between them third. Impossible Task is down at the rail. He's the gray in fourth, 3 lengths off the leaders. Then comes Upward Mobility, second to last, and inside of him it's King Meister. Let's Have One More has been able to clear off. Impossible Task is now tugging his way to the front, though. He wants that lead and gets it. Impossible Task is the new leader onto the back stretch. Let's Have One More, trying to stay with him in second. 2 more. Atomic Drop gets a good spot third. A gap of 3 back to Druidic, who's fourth at this point. And outside of him, Upward Mobility, fifth and 5 lengths off the lead. 2 more to King Meister. Down the back stretch, and it's Impossible Task. Let's Have One More. Atomic Drop has to get after the top pair now as they move past the 3/8 pole. Then comes Druidic, who's made a little bit of headway to fourth, has 4.5 to make up, though, and is hard ridden. Upward Mobility is next. 2 more to King Meister. They have a quarter of a mile to go. Impossible Task and Atomic Drop square off at the rail. Let's Have One More is trying to cling to this pair. They turn for home. Atomic Drop and Impossible Task down at the rail. Let's Have One More is pretty game. 3 back to Druidic in fourth inside the 8th pole. And it's Atomic Drop in front by a length now. Impossible Task. Let's Have One More. Druidic trying to get into second, but he won't. It's going to be Atomic Drop. Photo for second. Druidic did get there. Impossible Task was third. Let's Have One More fourth. We're in the gate. And they're off. Speed of Elon, very quick out of the gate, going nowhere up close in the early stages, as is Miles Finch. So it is going nowhere. Miles Finch, Speed of Elon, is rank in third. They're followed by Brew, racing in the fourth spot, a length and a half to Anon, who's inside of Fight Back. It's 2 more lengths to King of Clubs, inside Uncle Evco, and the trailer, It's My World. Around the first turn, Miles Finch and Juan Hernandez set the pace, leading it by 2, while snugly in hand, extending now to be in front by 3. Going nowhere second, Speed of Elon inches up a closer third. It's another 3 lengths back to Anon, who's inside of Brew. Brew just took fourth, and behind them is the gray Fight Back, running together with Uncle Evco. Anon losing ground now, King of Clubs, red cap behind him. It's My World trails. They move toward the far turn, and it is Miles Finch, untroubled on the front end, has a 2 or 3 length lead. Speed of Elon set down in second. Brew inches on the inside third. Uncle Evco fourth. Going nowhere is fifth, 5 lengths off the lead, coming to the quarter pole. Then Anon between horses, Fight Back outside of him. King of Clubs is underway. Red Cap has a lot of ground to find. He's going to be about 7 wide too. They're at the top of the stretch, and it's Miles Finch in front. Here's Going Nowhere sneaking through along the inside. In behind them, here comes King of Clubs with an electrifying run down the center of the course. King of Clubs blows by them all. Anon second. Miles Finch third, in front of Going Nowhere and Brew. Try the all-new Santa Anita Mule, made with Kettle One vodka, family made. Enjoy responsibly. In the gate. And they're off. Quality Cat bounced out well. Enos Slaughter has some early speed. Happy Does in between them. And Veritas Akitas joins the fray, as does Rich Gold, who's racing in the middle and just off the leader's heels. Down at the rail, Wine and Whiskey is only 2 lengths off the pace now. At the back of the field are Crown Magic, who is racing 2 lengths clear of the trailer, J.B. Books. 8 lengths covers the field as they swing on to the backstretch behind Happy Does, who will dictate terms, leading it by just about a length. With Enos Slaughter in second, Quality Cat third, Wine and Whiskey guided off the rail to be in between horses. It's another couple lengths to Veritas Akitas with the white cap, racing on the outside of Rich Gold, a length back to Crown Magic, and J.B. Books. They have a half-mile left to travel, and it's Happy Does in front. He's been there the whole way, a length and a half. Wine and Whiskey trying to get closer and is doing just that. Here's Veritas Akitas, just looking for a spot between horses. Down at the rail, Enos Slaughter and Quality Cat outside of them. These 5 separated by just 3 lengths. 2 more back to Crown Magic, who's called on now, hard-ridden, trying to make some headway. The 2 trailers, Rich Gold, J.B. Books has been at the back throughout. He'll come running on the extreme outside. A quarter of a mile to go. Wine and Whiskey up to Happy Does. Happy Does, Wine and Whiskey. Veritas Akitas is looking for room in between. He'll now dive 1 from the rail and try to mount a bid, and he's coming now. They're in the final furlong. Happy Does just in front. Veritas Akitas, Enos Slaughter at the rail. Veritas Akitas hugging the fence. Here's the line. Veritas Akitas needed every bit of luck to get there, and he did. Happy Does was second. Crown Magic finished third. Classic's Old Dream to the outside. They're in the gate. And they're off. Z's Wardrobe is hustled out for early speed. Here's Odie's Memory Lane sprinting up smoothly, along with Guilty of Having Fun. So those 2 go on with it. Sassafran is down at the rail in third. Renatus drops off as Hello Kiddo. Kiddo moves up to take fourth. Z's Wardrobe settles in mid-pack, 7 or 8 lengths off the pace as they move into the first turn. Orange Thunder hugs the rail. Magakai is in between horses. Mrazek's Old Dream outside of that pair. Big Whoosh has to be 15 or so off this first lead. And at the back of the field is the first-time starter, Suntory Time. They swing on to the backstretch, and it's Edwin Maldonado and Odie's Memory Lane getting it all her own way today. Guilty of Having Fun, 2.5 back in second. Hello Kiddo, Kiddo third. Sassafran is fourth, 6 lengths off the pace. Renatus is next, racing on the inside of Z's Wardrobe. Orange Thunder is just behind that pair with less than a half mile to go, 10 lengths off the lead. Magakai is 3 deep, Big Whoosh at the rail. Mrazek's Old Dream between those two. Suntory Time continues to trail. Odie's Memory Lane has been the controlling speed every step of the way, has a 3-length advantage. Guilty of Having Fun called on now second. Hello Kiddo, Kiddo 4 off the pace in third. Sassafran is next there at the top of the stretch, and Odie's Memory Lane turns for home, still in front by 3. Guilty of Having Fun trying her best in second. Orange Thunder on the inside of Hello Kiddo, Kiddo. They're coming to the 16th pole. Odie's Memory Lane, the lead is diminishing. Guilty of Having Fun is coming, as is Orange Thunder with the red blinkers coming best of all. Orange Thunder on the outside gets up in the shadow of the wire. Guilty of Having Fun second. Odie's Memory Lane third, in front of Hello Kiddo, Kiddo, who's in a battle for fourth with an oncoming Suntory Time, who finished well from last. Five-Star Love. And they're off. Tis Secure is very fast away from the gate. Voldemort has speed. Lead Pipe Joe, 3 of them across the track, and they're joined by Kid Dynasty, who's the close-up fourth. That group is followed by Prayer, racing on the inside of Charlie Foxtrot, who just went by him. A gap of 4 to Roadhouse Rumble, 5-Star Love, and King Stephen, who was off slowly, is the trailer. They passed the half-mile pole, and Lead Pipe Joe goes on. Opens up 3 lengths. Kid Dynasty and Voldemort second and third. Tis Secure just outside of that pair. Another length and a half to Charlie Foxtrot, who's 4 lengths off the lead, racing 3 clear of Prayer. Another 2 back to Roadhouse Rumble, 5-Star Love, and King Stephen continues to trail. They're a quarter of a mile from home. Voldemort and Tis Secure. Tis Secure on the outside, powers to the front at the top of the stretch. Voldemort is a half length back in second. They are followed by Charlie Foxtrot in a late run from King Stephen down the center of the track, but Tis Secure is home free. Tis Secure in a sparkling debut, and it looks like he wants to run even longer. Tis Secure gallops. Voldemort was second, King Stephen a good third, and Charlie Foxtrot finished fourth. And they're off. Noble Reflection and Father Delay are the first 2 out of the gate. Tom Horn moves up now to take the second spot as Noble Reflection speeds down the hill as usual. News at 10 is rushed into contention. Money Makes Money in the red colors up to take the 4th spot. That group is followed by Irish Royalty. Dancing Rinka is in that group as well, with a half mile left to travel. It's then Geezer, a gap back to Santo Dios, who is by himself, some 20 lengths off the lead, maybe a little less than that, as they head toward the quarter pole. Outside of him comes Guy Named Joe. It's another 4 to the 2 trailers, Western Avenue, and King Apollo has a lot of ground to make up with a quarter of a mile to run. And Noble Reflection to catch. He's been the controlling speed throughout. News at 10, aggressively ridden, trying to get after him. And Money Makes Money is in with a shot, angling out now for the final 1/8 of a mile. It is Noble Reflection. Money Makes Money. Tom Horn in the center of the track. News at 10 is just inside of him. And Irish Royalty. Here's Tom Horn coming fast on the outside, and Tom Horn runs down Noble Reflection. Money Makes Money, and News at 10 finish fourth. Five wagering is offered. And they're off. Tirupati stumbled at the start. Prancing Through Paris is going out to the front. Lady Montclair has good early, sharp speed too. They're followed by Eternal Rain, who's down at the rail in third, and Magic Light fourth through the early stages. Cornelia Ford is in between horses, followed by Quick Kate on the outside of Star of the Night as they move into the first turn. Magic Light with the yellow sleeves is on the outside of horses, 3.5 or so off the lead. Another couple back to Kentucky Gal, who's 6 lengths off them. Then comes Tirupati. Quick Kate is now right next to that rival. And moving up outside of that pair is Sophisticate, a couple of lengths back to Frankie Dettori and Needlepoint. Down the backstretch, and it is Prancing Through Paris in charge, leads at 1.5 lengths. Lady Montclair second, Magic Light outside of them third, Eternal Rain drafting in down at the rail in fourth. They're followed by Cornelia Fort and Kentucky Gal with 3 furlongs to run. Star of the Night is next. Tirupati between horses. Sophisticate is next. Needlepoint is down at the rail, 12 lengths or so off the lead, and Quick Kate is outside of her. They have 1/4 mile to run. Prancing Through Paris still there. Turns for home 1.5 lengths in front. Lady Montclair is in second. It's been a good journey for Eternal Rain. No surprise there as she angles out and is coming after Prancing Through Paris. It's Prancing Through Paris. Eternal Rain cut loose, but Prancing Through Paris tough. Eternal Rain trying to get her late. Prancing Through Paris takes them all the way. Nicely nursed along by Armando Ayuso. Eternal Rain finished second. Tirupati was third, and then fourth went to Cornelia Fort. Needlepoint came from dead last to try to get into the super high, 1,932.50. 50-cent pick four, $5,439.25.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to a fantastic Sunday here at the Great Race Place. We've got an excellent 10-race card lined up for you, and more importantly, we've got a Pick 6 carryover. $51,000 is going to be in the Pick 6, beginning in race number 5. So a very good Sunday card. And who better to have as a seminar guest than our guest today, noted clocker and the publisher of the winner's card, Toby Turrell. Toby, happy Sunday. Welcome to the seminar.
Dittos.
It's great to have you here. Now, of course, you've got to admit today's card is very challenging. And more importantly, the racing office has done a really good job the last couple of weeks, somewhat quietly, putting together these competitive cards.
Well, it's a great way to go into next big week, and we're ending off a big week here. So we're
Big Cap next Saturday is what you're alluding to?
Yeah, you bet.
Citizen Bull will be running. Many others will be on the card. That should be a fun day. I don't know exactly how many races there are going to be next Saturday, but I'm guessing maybe 11 or 12. But first things first, rather than look forward, let's look backwards. In my opinion, Toby, on Friday, we saw the debut of a 3-year-old filly who I think is going to be very, very special. In my opinion, she basically had the most breathtaking performance of the meet so far for me. She's from the Mark Latt barn. She was ridden by Mike Smith, and her name is Formula Rosa. What did you think of her coming into the race? What did you think of her performance? And am I overhyping her ability?
Oh, not at all. Not at all. First of all, she's by the wonder stallion of the whole game right now, Bacoma. Just listened to
his progeny won the Saudi Derby yesterday.
It's, I think, number 3. I just got all the details. It's a phenomenal sire right now, and a wonder sire. And then a horse like this comes along, and you just don't know what to think. I mean, this horse was scintillating. Everything you said, 100% accurate. I think.
Did you expect to see that from her in her debut? I mean, she was brilliant, beating brilliantly, by the way.
Well, yeah, that says it all. But no, I like the horse. There was a big workout coming into the race. But I think until a horse does something like that, I mean, you have to see it almost to believe it.
108 and change is what she stopped the clock for 6 furlongs. So exciting times ahead for her and her connections. Let's talk about the 3-year-old colts for a minute. Of course, we talked about the road leading to both the San Diego Derby and the Kentucky Derby. Who's number one in your book, Toby, here in Southern California for leading 3-year-old at this point in time?
Well, he's been number one in my book ever since last October, going into the Breeders' Cup. And he has stayed there, and that's hard to do in any category of anything, is to stay on top. And his name is Citizen Bull, and he is a bull. He continues to just do everything and more that's asked of him. So he gets the lean for me right now.
Critics would say he hasn't had to overcome adversity yet. A, would you agree with that? And B, is he just that much better than his competition, or do you want to see him overcome some adversity?
First of all, he's a speed horse, so he didn't exactly walk on the lead in any of these races. Those fractions were legit in the Breeders' Cup. And I think that if you took one look at this horse and what a hulk he truly is and just look at him, I wouldn't want to be up next to him right now.
Toby, we can see behind you a live shot of the backdrop here at Santa Anita. And of course, you well know, having been out here since early this morning, it is a beautiful day. What was the activity like this morning on both the main track and the training track? Were there a ton of workers? Did anybody catch your eye?
Yeah, well, I've got the marketing slogan for us all. It's like,
what is it?
Where else are you going to get that view?
Nowhere in the world.
Right?
Nowhere in the world. That's why we all love the Great Race Place.
You know, that's what makes it.
And it's late February, by the way. It's not mid-June. It feels like mid-June here in Southern California, but the weather makes this just such a special place.
And it's crystal clear out there. The mountains are right on top of you, literally, and it does not get any better. It does not get any better. And like you said, we got a huge card today. We got a lot of action. The workout tab was very brisk. 208 workers today. A lot of action. Good, solid pace to the morning. And we said a couple of minutes ago, our momentum is really strong right now.
The training track seems to have slowed down in the morning after we had that 4 inches of rain last week. Would you agree with that assessment? Prior to that, whenever you looked in the racing form, there were runners who were basically going 58 and change for 5 furlongs in the training track. That no longer seems to be the case, generally speaking. Would you agree with that?
Well, let's just bring it up to the moment. The workout times today were very fast, and they may not look fast on paper, but I had several horses that went 47 flat breezing.
On the training track or the main track or both?
The training track. And see, the key with that is, like, if they would have just let like 3 or 4 of those horses run, then your opinion, I think, would be different.
And you bring up a very, very good point, Tom. We've only got a couple of minutes before we get scratches, but it's not necessarily the time of the workout. It's how they perform in that workout. And thanks to our friends at First TV, where we show a lot of the workouts, rather than listen to you or Andy Harrington or some of the other clockers, all of us as individual handicappers can watch that. And that's an important thing to take into consideration. The running of a race, the time is obviously critical. In workouts, just the time is important, but how they do it is really what's most important.
No question, it's most important how they're acting along with how they look. I tell everyone very openly, if I could get rid of my stopwatch, that would be a perfect world for me.
And the reason would be because then you wouldn't be so biased in terms of looking at your clock and saying, wow.
Well, things happen very, very rapidly. You only have split seconds a lot of times to see horses. It takes split seconds to look at your watch. That's time you have to take off of the track. And, you have to do it constantly. So I would rather look stone right at the track, not have to look down at my watch. Like I said, that's just a perfect world.
Toby, I know that about a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, the 2-year-olds were allowed on track. Now, I don't know if any of them have had official workout times, but do you see any of them either taking long gallops or maybe breezing in the morning? Do you see any indication of that yet?
Yeah, there's a good friend of yours, a colleague named Michelle Yu, I think her name is.
She's flying back from Saudi Arabia right now as we speak. She had a delay, unfortunately.
Well, her 2-year-olds aren't delayed. I should say Ryan and hers.
Ryan Hansen.
Correct. They have 5 of them that are running around in a pack. They were the first ones to hit the track.
And were these timed workouts or just kind of like slow gallops?
No, just slow gallops.
I got you. And what about, Toby, one more question for you, and I'm going to put you on the spot here. We're obviously pretty deep into the 3-year-olds being able to compete in both the Santa Anita Derby and the Kentucky Derby if they haven't made their starts yet. But is there an unraced, newly turned 3-year-old that's maybe caught your eye that you're looking forward to from the Baffert barn, the O'Neill barn, the Mandela barn? Somebody that maybe hasn't run yet that you think has some potential?
Well, one of my all-time favorite shows was a show called Get Smart. And Don Adams, who was a great racetracker, by the way, he always missed it by that much. The answer to your question is there was until yesterday. The horse just ran. His name is Tis Secure. And the first time I saw this horse, I was thinking big, big, big things. And I still am.
And that was the Bob Baffert winner, I believe, in race number 8 or 9.
Yes, it was. He came through like a real racehorse.
Very interesting. Well, we're a day late and $1 short, but more importantly, we've got Toby as our seminar guest to find out who he likes on all 10 races, but perhaps more importantly in the pick 6 sequence, where we've got a $51,000 carryover. Expectations are new money might exceed $500,000, and based upon the competitiveness of the card, I would tend to agree with that estimate. Before we get to Toby's selections, let's toss the microphone over to track announcer Frank Miramati and get the early changes on today's card here at the Great Race Place.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Santa Anita Park, the Great Race Place, where we have a carryover in the pick 6 today of more than $51,649. The track, as usual, is fast, and the turf course is firm. Here are the changes. In race 1, number 1, Broski carries 2 pounds over, and 2, My Hero, is making his first start as a gelding today. In the second, there are no changes. In the third, scratch number 4, Ride for Gold. Race 4 offers middle pick 4 wagering. The fifth, start of the pick 6 with that $51,649 carryover. Number 3, Choke Cherry Sherry, 5 pounds over. Scratch number 7, Sir Tom. In the 6th, we start the all-turf pick 3 and the late pick 5 with no program changes. Race 7, scratch 7, Adios Nicanor. 8th race, scratch number 6, My Summer Dream. In the 9th, scratch number 7, Stellar Cap. And also scratch number 1, Tizzy Twister. 1 and 7 are out of the 9th. And in the 10th, Super High 5 wagering is offered, scratch number 5, Invest a Lot. Those are the changes on today's card. Enjoy your day at Santa Anita Park, where the Coast to Coast Pick 5 is once again offered. We do it on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Low 15% takeout, $1 minimum wager. It starts with Gulfstream's 9th today. Post time for the opener is in 59 minutes at 12:30 p.m. Next Saturday is Big Cap Day, an extraordinary card of racing action. At this time, we go back to Quigley's Corner. His special guest is Toby Turrell.
Welcome back. We're talking horse with Toby Turrell. He's one of the most esteemed clockers anywhere in North America. He's here at the racetrack every single morning and every single afternoon, finding tomorrow's winners today. If you want to see his work on a daily basis, just go to the website casetherace.com. That's casetherace.com. You can pick up his sheet, which includes not only his selections for all the races, but also selected workouts that he thinks are most important to your handicapping success. All right, Toby, Good 10-race card, as we mentioned many times, with a $51,000 pick six carryover. So let's kick things off first in race number 1, which begins the 50-cent early pick 5. 1 mile on the turf course for main special weights. The rails today are at 10 feet. We've got a field of 7. Number 2, My Hero, is a first-time gelding. The morning line favorite, number 4, Cuban Confusion, shipping in from overseas for trainer Phil D'Amato. Frankie Dettori in the saddle. Frankie rides 4 morning line favorites today. This is the first of them. Jeff Siegel pegged him at 8-5 on the morning line. Also take note, this race is eligible for 3-year-olds against older. 2 of them, Broski and Kano, for the winner, 3-year-olds facing older. A little bit early for that, in my opinion, 3-year-olds taking on older. Before we get your thoughts on the race, Toby, you wanted to show us a workout on the training track for Cuban Confusion. This was a team workout back on February 15th. Cuban Confusion is on the outside. Kentucky Gal ran yesterday, somewhat disappointing in the last race after breaking from an outside post. Why'd you want to show this workout?
Well, the mission of this workout was to slow this horse down as much as physically possible, because so far they have not been able to slow Cuban Confusion down, this gelding. Antonio Frezu, one of the best, and this is why he did it. He did exactly what I'm sure Phil asked him to do. He got this horse to gallop, literally gallop, and that's the slowest he can go is 101. It's actually scary how fast he could actually work if they actually let him run. Hopefully that's today. I want him to show the intrinsic speed he has shown consistently now with a big series of workouts. I'm hoping for a big effort from this horse today. And the 6-horse Mysterious Husband been knocking on the door, and he'll be fighting it out. He's training just fine. Light maintenance type works for him. But I'm expecting a big effort from the 4-horse in here.
Toby, I'm going to ask you some questions about some of the layoff runners, because we have so many today, including in race number 1 with number 3, Let's See Miss Go. The reason why I want to ask you about this son of Justify, who's trained by Brian Corn, is because Brian does such a good job with layoff runners. Have you seen Let's See Miss Go in the morning, and what have you thought about his comeback workouts?
Yeah, he's a very fun horse to watch train. He really puts his heart into the workouts, and he does it routinely. I just don't think he's as intrinsically fast, maybe as hopefully the 4. But if the 4 has to get out of the gate, it's going to be very key. But the horse is training very solid there. The 3.
Number 4, Cuban Confusion, currently on the board at 8-5. Let's See Miss Go, 7-1. A lot of different ways you can go if you don't like the favorite, but Toby does like, as you can see, 4 and 6 in race number 1. Let's turn the page. Take a look at race number 2. We're still going 1 mile, but this time on the main track. It's a restricted starter optional claiming race for fillies and mares. It also begins the 50-cent early pick 4. We've got a field of 7. Number 4, Doreen's Wildcat from the Ron Ellis barn, who did run up in Northern California earlier in the year as the 5-2 morning line favorite, has been playing her trade primarily down here in Southern California. What say you about race 2, Toby?
Yeah, Doreen's Wildcat, to me, is the class of the race and deserves to be the favorite. Ron Ellis, believe it or not, has not had a win at the meet. That's hard to believe with how great his horses look day in and day out in the morning. I think he gets off the schneid, as they like to say today. This mare really turned it up in her last workout. She showed that she's sharp. And that should be enough. Like I said, I think she's the class of the race. The 6-horse, Super Ellie, this gray filly, ran her heart out with a little bit of trouble in the slop. Don't know what to make of that, but Steve Sherman is coming to life here since moving down from Pleasanton. So 4 and 6 again in race 2.
A general question for you, Toby, as it relates to the Northern California races that we're now running here in Southern California at Santa Anita. Do you see the trainers maybe changing their mode of training now that they've been down here for the last month or so? And what I mean by that is, obviously up north, they primarily had synthetic surfaces. Now we have, generally speaking, a main track that you train over. Do they understand that the runners down here need to go fast early and fast late in order to compete? Because up to this point, most of the runners that have won the Northern California restricted races are horses that have speed. I'm just wondering if you see any change, generally speaking, in trainer style from any of these Northern California trainers.
Not really. They were training on dirt at Pleasanton pretty much, at least for the most recent amount of training. But I'll tell you, these races have been tremendously formful overall. And like you said, the speed horses are winning. Well, that's basically the name of the game when it comes to dirt. So they're running formful.
Fair enough. Let's take a look at race number 3. We're sprinting 6 furlongs on the main track for maiden claiming 4 and 5-year-olds in for a $20,000 tag. Scratch the 4. Leaves us with a field of 7. The aforementioned Ryan Hansen trains the morning line favorite at 5-2. Number 7, Osage Creek. Talk to us about race 3, Toby.
Well, going back to the same jockey here, Mr. Fry, and the 5-horse Eligio, trained by Phil Oviedo, they had a giant win with Charge for Gold down the hill. Big upset winner a couple weeks ago. Doesn't have a lot of horses, Phil, but the ones that he does have, he does a great job with. And this horse is improved in the morning. If I didn't see the big improvement in the morning, I wouldn't have given this horse the call today. But I've seen what I needed to see to say that he's coming up to maybe his best race of his career. And if you look at the form, that would be good enough to win. That's the logic here. The 7 horse is taking the big drop in class. No doubt this horse will be out on the lead. Question is by how far, and how far will the horse be on the lead in the lane? 5 and 7 in race number 3. On
today's 10-race card, Sandy offers a 50-cent middle pick 4, which begins in race 4, where we're sprinting 6 furlongs on the turf course for $25,000 claimers, non-winners of 2 races lifetime, a field of 9. Number 7, Special Flower from the Doug O'Neill barn, is the 2-1 morning line favorite. Another morning line favorite ridden by Frankie Dettori. By the way, today is a swan song. He's leaving Santa Anita in Southern California to ride the rest of the winter up at Gulfstream Park. Can Frankie win race 4? Special Flower.
Absolutely. No question about it. Owned in part, by the way, by longtime, let's call him Mr. Delmar, George Hicker. Known him for decades, been over to some nice parties he's thrown. He doesn't have many horses left, but the ones that he has, I think he makes them count. And this big mare, I think, is spotted for the win today. There's no questions asked. I've seen what I've needed to see from her in the morning, and that's very key, obviously, off of this layoff. She's got the speed to be out there. She's outside, good draw. Everything hopefully goes her way. Number 6, Bronco Nagurski, came flying in a race a few back over the turf. And, this trainer, I'll tell you what, you can almost take his workouts and just ignore them. Talking about Steve Miotti. Tom Horn yesterday does it again, down the hill, just lights out. Hey, if Bronco Nagurski runs anywhere like Tom Horn did yesterday, look out. And he'll be a giant price in this race.
Tom Horn, off the long layoff yesterday, being victorious, is now 3 for 3 on the turf course. And as you mentioned, Mr. Miotti having a fantastic meet. Question for you, Toby, because this is another KG trainer who you well know. The trainer of number 4, Ubabakakeo. Lee Baraccio adds blinkers to this horse who's never worn blinkers before. Any chance you saw that training track drill since the last race? And what do you think about blinkers on for this horse?
Yeah, interesting putting the blinkers on this horse. The workout was okay. A lot of hard pressure in the work and didn't really go that fast. Thought the horse, from a visual standpoint, was actually going a lot faster than he was, which is interesting. But he let's just say the last race, I think, was a debacle. I think they all learned he doesn't maybe want to go this far at this point in his career. So cut back with the blinkers. I think they're experimenting. We'll see how the experiment works today.
Race number 5 is when the fireworks begins. That's because it's the kickoff of the $2 pick 6 with a $51,000 carryover. We've got main claiming 3-year-olds going 1 mile on the main track for a $32,000 tag. Scratch the 7, Sir Tom. Take note number 6 is a first-time gelding. Also take note number 3, Choke Cherry Sherry, is a filly running against the boys. The morning line favorite is number 5, Looking for Curly, from the aforementioned Phil Oviedo barn at 3-1. Phil going to get 2 wins on today's card, Toby?
Well, I hope not.
Nothing against Phil.
No, well, my numbers are right there, so you know why I'm saying I hope not.
Of course.
The 4-horse in here, Southern Tornado. Interesting little colt here. I think he wants to route, and that's my angle in the race. His lone race over the track, a lot better than it looks on paper there. Very slow out of the gate. Real green, actually took a right-hand turn. Showed that something extra down the lane. Just had every right to throw it in and did not. He kept fighting. Then he galloped out very well. And then I started to think, you know what, maybe if they route this horse, look at the sire, Southern Image.
Mike Makowski, he won a few races with him, graded stakes races.
He very rarely lost on these parts, Southern Image. So Tisbud on the bottom side, I'm thinking, and so the connections are thinking what I'm thinking. Love it when that happens. Hopefully we get a little mild upset here with the 4-horse Southern Tornado. I think the obvious dropper in the race is the 10-horse General Jackson. He's got to overcome the post, but he's got the speed too. Got the speed rider in Maldonado. He, I think, is the obvious horse to beat.
Toby, with Kirsten Court, number 6, being a first-time gelding, does that factor into your handicapping equation at all? And more importantly, he's been gelded since his last race, which was just 21 days ago. Is that too quick of a turnaround? Do you spend any time either looking at or analyzing that in the past?
Not really, because I don't want it to sway me off of everything that I already have on file. If I see a horse that I'm really interested in, I see it's been gelded, or if Mike Mitchell was still around, because he's the one that talked to me about gelding and his beliefs, and it sure worked for him back in the day. But on a horse like this, I mean, he's really got to turn it around. I think the longer the better. I'm not really the scientist when it comes to how many days or how many weeks is optimum. I think every horse is probably different. But no, it's probably down on my list.
Race number 6 begins both the 50-cent late pick 5 as well as the $3 all turf pick 3 with a reduced 15% takeout. And we kick off both wagers in race 6, sprinting 6 furlongs in the turf course for maiden special weight Calbred 3-year-old Felix. This is a really good race, in my opinion. Number 4, Butterfly Beach, the second-time starter from the Neil Drysdale barn, is the 5-2 morning line favorite. Toby, before we get your thoughts on the race, we want to watch both a workout and a replay. Let's first start with the workout. It's for the rail filly. It's Fielder's Choice. This is the dam's first foal, and as we can see, this workout was on February 16th. It was a team drill. Fielder's Choice is on the inside here, and you can already see the exercise rider has his feet in the dashboard. She wants to go on, and he's trying to restrain her as best as he can, and of course, he's doing the best he possibly can. But you can tell just immediately looking at the workout video, courtesy of our friends at First TV, that she has a lot of speed, which makes her interesting to me because she draws the rail. So Giovanni Franco, her jockey this afternoon, has no other choice but to let her run early. Do you like her at all coming into this race, Toby?
Yeah, she's my second choice. And by the way, that's Gio in the saddle there as we speak with the light blue helmet on. And the outside horse is a stake horse that, in my estimation, as you can see right here, is actually getting outworked by this first-time starter. Nearing the wire, and very significant factors to believe that this horse could be live, and that's why I have this horse picked second.
Two things to be concerned of. Not only is it the dam's first foal, but Fielder's Choice will not be using Lasix today. And if you look at the past performances, you can see she has a break in her workout pattern from December 8th to February 1st. But nevertheless, that most recent workout on February 16th, I thought, was very telling in terms of her early speed potential. The other video we want to watch, Toby, is a replay. This would be a replay back on January 4th. And there's 3 runners in today's field exiting this race. It would be number 3, Nepal, number 4, Butterfly Beach, and also number 8, Go Cami O. The one that I want you to watch is Butterfly Beach, who in this replay is going to be breaking from the rail. You'll see Antonio Fresu, her rotor this day, having to check multiple times throughout the race, including right before they disappear behind the TV, going down the backside. But there'll be other trouble that's very apparent. You be the judge yourself. Let's listen to Frank Mirmati describe the action and watch Butterfly Beach breaking from the rail.
And they're off. Miso Fancy broke very nicely and will battle for the early lead, but there are several of them, including Tropical Rain Day in Nepal, who go on with it. Just behind them comes Go Cami O in 4th, and now Maria Tallchief moves through smoothly at the rail, a length and a half in front of Kapalua Ride. Maria Tallchief having to slam on the brakes momentarily. Orange Thunder is racing in mid-pack, 6 or 7 lengths off the lead as they move into the far turn. Forest Dazzle is next, racing 3/4 of a length in front of Tapatia Leah on the outside of Butterfly Beach. Around the far turn, and it's Nepal, Tropical Rain Day, Go Cameo just outside of them in 3rd. Maria Tall Chief is fourth along the inside, 4 lengths off the lead. Me So Fancy will swing to the far outside in the pink. St. Shelia is in behind her. There's an eighth of a mile to go. And Nepal goes on, has a 2-length lead. Maria Tall Chief trying to get out with those big strides. And now here's Me So Fancy. And Me So Fancy just blows by them all.
Toby, as we continue to watch the gallop out, Me So Fancy was 1-2 on the tote board, so no surprise that she dominated. But here comes our friend Butterfly Beach, who basically has to wear a neck brace after that performance with her head being yanked around so much. She finishes full of run, indicating to me that she definitely ran better than what her running line looks. We've looked at a replay and also a workout, but you're actually going in a different direction with a first-time starter on the outside.
Yeah, well, I'm going for value, quite frankly, and obviously there won't be much value on the 4 horse in here, Butterfly Beach. The 9, this filly, Elsa Dutton, is a very leggy, athletic filly, and she has done what she's supposed to do in her gate workout. She worked with an older horse, stayed head and head very competitively. Didn't do too much, and I think that's the key here with the way Phil D'Amato's bringing her into the race. And the mom of this horse, we remember very well out here, a runner that ran 15 times and had a tremendous record with 7 wins, 4 seconds, and 2/3. I always take note of that. So she's bred to be a runner. She's acting like she can run some. Great spot for an upset, hopefully, and a big debut win from number 9, Elsa Dutton.
In the first leg of the pick 6, Toby likes 9-1 in that order in race number, I should say in the second leg of the pick 6, in race number 6. In race number 7, which begins the 50-cent late pick 4, we're sprinting 6 furlongs on the main track for $20,000 claimers, non-winners of three races lifetime. Scratch the 7, still leaves us with a full field of 10. Number 10, Man Child, once again ridden by Frankie Dettori, is a 3-1 morning line favorite for George Papadopoulos. Before we get your thoughts on the race, Toby, another workout courtesy of our friends at First TV. This is a team drill back on February 17th. Man Child is going to be on the outside. Why'd you want to show this workout?
Well, because these are claiming horses here today, and a claiming horse, you just want to know that they're feeling sharp, that they have some edge to them, and you want to see that their mind is in the right place. And Man Child shows a big check mark to all 3 of those things in this workout. Settled, relaxed, the rider's hands aren't barely moving at all, and he's composed. He's got good rhythm on the outside here. Look at the rail horse shoving all in and still sitting still on the outside here, Man Child. In fact, he started to really pick it up right under the wire, and I think this is just a real sharpener for this horse today.
And Toby, Man Child has had 10 starts on a fast main track, 2 wins, 3 seconds and 2/3, 7 for 10 lifetime on a fast main track. You got him on top, but you also get a little off the Rogue Sun, ridden by Juan Hernandez. Why you like him?
Well, I think it's interesting that Juan Hernandez is going to ride this veteran today. The reason why, quite frankly, I'm giving this horse a look to hopefully be in there is he just runs so hard every time. He's so consistent. He's training fit and healthy. So I think he'll just show up and run his race, and hopefully that's good enough to complete the exacta.
Rogue Sun last time out ran over a wet, fast surface, and you can see he has 2 career wins. Both of those career wins happened right here at St. Anita and exactly at this distance. Race number 8 begins the $3 late pick 3, once again with a reduced 15% takeout. We're sprinting 6 furlongs in race 8 on the turf course for $25,000 claimers. Scratch the 6, My Summer Dream. Take note number 9, Don't Swear Dave, is a first-time gelding. Number 5, Jetivator, the hard-knocking 9-year-old, is a 5-2 morning line favorite. Some brutal beats for Jetivator the last 3 times out. Is today the day to see him in the winner's circle?
Boy, who knows? He's warrior. His connections were just in the winner's circle last night in the last race at 35-1.
And congratulations to Armando Ayuso, the jockey. He's the king of the long shots in the last race suddenly.
Well, suddenly. And so anyway, they're going from 35-1 to the morning line favorite here with the 9-year-old. So we'll see what happens. The 2-horse hacking it up is my call. I think there's a lot of value here. His race over the turf was very big. He had a huge energy level. Big mid-race pace move, and he's working sharp. There's your jockey in the saddle, ironically enough. I think he runs his race. I think he's good enough to win. He's 10-1. A great shot to take in here with this horse. The one horse, Count of Amazonia, needs no introduction. At 8 years old himself, but nice race record, nice racehorse. This gelding, Noble Reflection, ran Giant yesterday in defeat. And this horse, believe it or not, this was opening day. And in fact, not only opening day, this was the first race of the meet that Count of Amazonia comes out of. It was a action-packed race. There was a big full field. And the fact that he ran a good closing third is pretty significant in there. So 2-1 here in race 8.
Toby, I'm going to dig deeper since we have a few extra minutes to ask you about some of the layoff runners returning in race number 8. Let's first start in numerical order with number 4, Donsick. Last 2 times he's returned off a layoff. He's hit the winner's circle. Have you seen him train for his comeback?
Yeah, he's been training for several months now. For Sarin, his works to me are kind of just fitness based. He doesn't look really cranked up to me. Now remember, these works are on the dirt, but even with that said, I just don't think he's cranked to win off of a year layoff from what I've seen. And
a horse returning off a long layoff is number 8, Nero Tulip. Talk to us about him if you've seen him.
Yeah, what interesting looking horse here. Now he sometimes he works great and the other times he works just no good at all. So I don't know which horse is going to show up here today. But with that erratic workout pattern and the question marks of the recent form, I got to take a wait and see here.
Speaking of cagey trainers, Hector Palma certainly fits that category. He's got the first time gelding, Don't Swear Dave, returning off an August layoff and also a void claim. Have you seen his works in the morning?
Yeah, his last work, he has some nice works, this horse, but his last work, he was just absolutely all out, and I just wanted to see more than that in his most recent work.
Let's take a look at race number 9, which begins the $5 late daily double, also with a reduced 15% takeout. This is for Calbred, fillies and mares, allowance optional claiming types. Non-winners of one other than, sprinting 6.5 furlongs on the main track. 2 scratches, scratch the 1 and the 7. Still leaves us with an excellent field of 10. Morning line favorite, number 4, Stop Digging from the Simon Callahan barn. Frankie Dettori once again on the morning line favorite. Give us your thoughts on race 9, Toby.
Well, we're gonna have some fun in this race. Win or lose, we're gonna have a lot of fun in this race because I'm picking a 15-1 shot to win, and I've got a 20-1 shot pick second.
I like it. Who is it?
Okay, the hopefully the winner is going to be number 6.
Well, let me stop you right there. Sandacy, of course, we haven't seen in quite some time, but we do have, again, courtesy of our friends at First TV, a workout for Sandacy. This was a solo workout on the main track on January 31st. We haven't seen her in the afternoons since May of 2024, but you can tell just by the time, without watching anything else, that she's scooting right along here.
And there's that light blue helmet of Giovanni Franco, who is in the saddle here. You touched on a very key point, the fact that this mare went 59 flat. This, I believe, was the work that showed the connections that she is race ready, and hopefully more than that. The finish is very strong. Now, this is a gigantic mare. Let's just begin kind of there. She is just fun to look at. And the fact that she can move like this at this stage in this workout. Now, look, he just gives her a little tap right there mid-stretch just to get her mind on the finish at the wire here. And look at, she's just poetry. Big, massive, beautiful mare, and the ears are pricked. Boy, I'm excited just to watch her run today.
15-1 on Sandacy, Toby's top pick in race number 9, but you like a long shot to complete the exacta.
By the way, I'm walking out of the track yesterday, and I leave right when the horses are schooling and heading into the paddock.
And you saw Sandacy.
And who do I see but Sandacy? And the funny thing is, there was a groom in front of her, and he couldn't resist turning around and saying, "Who's that? She's going to win." Uh-oh, shouldn't have said we're putting too much weight on this horse.
TMI,
anyway.
Too much information.
Right. But it's fun.
Well, if she doesn't win, you kind of like the chances of a 20-1 shot, Lady Marianne.
Lady Marianne is a genuine, hard-trying mare, and happened to meet this mare's owner several years back. And what a gentleman. I just root for this guy. He's the definition of a blue-collar owner that you just would love to see in the winner's circle. And Tyler Bays, who's had a little resurgence here in the last few weeks, a hot rider, might be the guy to make this happen. It'd be a gigantic upset, but she'll be in there fighting. She's training very well. Tyler's been aboard her a few times. She's showing all the right kind of flesh and color in the coat, and her ears are flapping. She's happy. Hopefully, let's hope it runs 6-3.
Toby, we close out an excellent card of racing today in race number 10, where we offer $1 super high five wagering. We're going 1 mile on the turf course for Calbred allowance optional claiming types, non-winners of 1 other than, scratch the 5, leaves us with a field of 10. Speaking of big fields, did you see yesterday's late $5 daily double payoff in excess of $2,000? We could be in store for a similar payout today based upon the field sizes in the last 2 races, but we've got a field of 10 in race number 10 after the scratch of number 5, Invest a Lot, the morning line favorite, drawn right inside the scratch horse. Number 4, Touchdown Brown, first off the claim for Lee Baraccio. He does so well first off the claim, but he's changing surfaces, going from the main track to the turf. What say you about the nightcap?
Yeah, well, with all that said, what he's done is he's claimed a gelding that is just sky high right now. And boy, his win at Del Mar was giant. His win here was just very solid and razor sharp. And he, believe it or not, from day one, I thought he could handle the turf. I've got turf notes on him all the way back that he could handle the turf. So that's going to be the key, because on recent form sharpness and the sharpness of his last workout, I think he's going to be the horse in here. Frezu, hopefully his plane didn't get delayed. He's in the saddle, and let's just say yes to all these questions on the 4-horse. The 1, Brazenly, is a very genuine, nice horse, has run some winning races, even in defeat. And I think he's going to be right there at a pretty good price. With a very low-profile jockey in the saddle, I think you get a big price on the 1. So we'll end it up that way.
Toby, I know you pay attention to everything. One more wager to consider that I know you've been getting involved with. That's the $1 coast-to-coast pick 5. Friday's payout in excess of $5,000. Yesterday's payout in excess of $2,000. $1 minimum, low 15% takeout. Pick the winners of those 5 races that you see on the screen, including 3 right here from Santa Anita. But the action today kicks off with Gulfstream Park, race number 9 at 1:50 p.m. Pacific time. Toby, thanks so much for your time and insight today. We can't have you every day as a guest, although I'd like to do that. So for those of you who enjoyed Toby's commentary today, make sure you check out the website, cacetherace.com. You can find Toby's selections and workouts on a daily basis right there. Toby, thanks again. Best of luck on today's card.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great afternoon of racing, and good luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we direct your attention to the flagpole in the infield, as well as the winner's circle. And we ask that you please rise for our national anthem as we welcome Jay Cohen, Rick Tyree, and Bill Frazier. Jay Cohen, Rick Tyree, and Bill Frazier here to entertain us this afternoon. Welcome to Santa Anita Park, the great race place. Track is fast, turf is firm, and the conditions are brought to you by John Deere. Here are the changes. In the first, start of the early pick 5, number 1, Broski, 2 pounds over. Number 2, My Hero, racing as a gelding for the first time. In race 2, there are no changes. Early pick 4 wagering offered. Race 3, scratch number 4, Ride for Gold. In the third, take out the 4. In the fourth, middle pick 4 wagering is offered. Race 5 starts to pick 6. Big news, $51,649 in the carryover. Number 3, Choke Cherry Sherry, 5 pounds over. Scratch number 7, Sir Tom. Late pick 5 and all turf pick 3 start with race number 6. No changes. In the 7th, scratch number 7, Adios Nicanor. 8th race, scratch number 6, My Summer Dream. Late pick 3